Hey guys, Dan with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be that emotions are not the enemy. And I'm going to combine that with a request from one of my viewers here. Hey look, I got a squirrel right here. Look at him. That's pretty funny. Talk about attention deficit disorder. So I start talking about a topic. Oh look, a squirrel. The funny part is he was literally on the tree about 8 feet away. So it got my attention. So where was I? Emotions are not the enemy. And I want to address a viewer's question who was asking, how do I do this work and allow myself to truly feel these emotions, but not get stuck dwelling in them all day? And let me address the first point first. Emotions are not the enemy. What if it was the avoidance of the emotions that was truly the cause of all of these pains and symptoms and everything else? And it's not even a what if. It's pretty much determined. Sarno figured this stuff out in the 70s, and we've got now, what's that, pretty much 50 years or so of evidence that the repression and the avoidance and the running away from and the deciding, I'm not going to feel that now, I don't have time for that, that's what's building up this pressure cooker of stress and negative emotions inside of us. And as I've said before, those emotions have an electrical charge, right? You've heard that term, oh, I've got an emotional charge about that. And if you avoid it, you're basically shoving it into your body, and that electrical charge is going to unleash in your body. And that's why we get these weird, crazy symptoms or pains. And so if you feel that the emotions are what is dangerous, because you have connected these emotions to the symptoms. Right, I touched on this yesterday on the digestive question, but it applies all the way around. If you've ever noticed that when you get really angry or stressed out, oh my God, my pain gets worse. So it's extremely easy to come to the conclusion that emotions are bad. So I can't allow myself to get stressed out. Right? I can't allow myself to get angry. I can't allow myself to get sad. When I get sad, I really hurt more, right? And so it's a very logical and easy conclusion to come to, but it's incorrect. The emotions are not the problem. It's the resistance to the emotions and the fear of the emotions that really creates the problems. So what if you were to flip it completely on its end and decide, and I like to use that word, decide, you're going to embrace the emotions. Another viewer question here is, how can I get this work done and heal if I'm in a very stressful environment? Like somebody was saying that they've got an ailing parent who's very sick and very stressful, and how do they heal when they're in that environment? So all this stuff ties together. Emotions are not the enemy. It's the resistance to the emotions. And how do you feel the emotions without getting stuck in them? And then likewise, how do you heal if you're in an environment which continues to create the stress, the tension, the negative emotions? And so the answer to that is a decision that your body is fine. Your body's already okay, right? Doesn't matter what the doctors have said, unless you've got a significant medical issue like an infection, infectious disease, tumor of some sort, or a true, injury if you fell. Most everything else can really be racked up to too much stress, TMS, right? So if you are truly believing that your body is okay, the next step is to decide, really decide that your emotions are okay too. They make you human. They don't make you weak. They don't make you crazy. They don't make you out of control, right? The emotions are what we need to embrace and give ourselves permission to feel, because it's the resistance and running away from these emotions and deciding the emotions are the problem that gets us into trouble in the first place. So how do you do that if you're in a stressful environment? You've got to take some time for self-care. And in this case, the self-care is, I don't care if you're running out to the pharmacy to pick up some medicine for your parents, or if you are just going to the toilet, or if you are taking a shower, or if you are in the kitchen by yourself cooking. Take whatever time you can to honor and respect and just truly feel what you're feeling. If you're grieving about an ailing parent and you're just stressing out about, oh my God, what am I going to do without them? Or what's life going to be without them? And oh my God, we've got the whole estate to deal with. And I don't know how to console my mom or dad because they are in such fear themselves of dying. Like, oh my God, this is some heavy stuff. But if you decide to say, I've got to pull my chin up and be happy and cheerful and supportive for them, and not allow yourself in the privacy of your own bedroom, in your own bathroom, your car, your wherever, in the privacy of your head and your heart, to at least give yourself permission to feel these emotions. Bottling them up is not going to help you heal. So, you can't care for them if you're not caring for yourselves. So, pretty much all I've got to say here. Emotions are not the enemy. Resistance to them is. Self-care is critical here. And even if you're in a very stressful environment, you got to give yourself permission. Oh, and lastly, how do you not get stuck in these emotions, right? That again is a choice and a decision. So once you've done your feeling process, once you've given yourself permission and truly felt, the key part after that is to shift to something that is soothing. Do something that is enjoyable, brings you joy, brings you happiness, makes you smile, gets you out of your head, into your heart, into the present moment, right? I could sit out here all day. I just love it. Listening to the birds, hearing the wind go through the trees. We're already starting to see some yellow leaves on the ground. I guess that means fall is on its way. Paying attention to the squirrels, right? After you feel your emotions, soothe. And I'm becoming more and more favorable of the gratitude exercises, because that will literally start to bring you a feeling of abundance, as opposed to this feeling of fear and lacking something, right? So, emotions are not the enemy. Feel your emotions, but then soothe afterwards. And that's how you can get away from dwelling in them. I taught about staying out of story mode. If you go to Pain For You channel on YouTube, and in a little search, you see a little microscope, a little search. Just search for story mode, and you should find it. Or even if you go to Google and search for Pain For You story mode, you'll probably get the result in Google for that video. Watch that. Story mode is dwelling. Story mode is ruminating on the stories behind all of this stuff. And again, if you are in a really tough environment, I do feel for you. I understand it. I was there with my dad. Fortunately, my mom's not there yet. Thank you for your well wishes on my mom, because I know I've gotten a number of those. She's good. She's still doing all right. She's just starting to get scared of what's to come. So I get the stress, I get the tension, I get the grief, I get the hopelessness. Feel it. Give yourself permission. If you need to be strong for your parents or whomever you're caring for, fine, be strong. But give yourself permission in the privacy of the bathroom, the bedroom, the car, somewhere, to take a break for your own mental health and your own self-care. So I hope you find this helpful. Emotions are not the enemy. resistance to them is. Embrace them. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.